So imagine you are a home decor designer, and how do you go about choosing colors for your different designs? Hi everyone, it's Carol from Discover Interior Design, and I'm so glad you're here. Well, in this video, we're going to kind of go behind the scenes and see how a designer may choose colors and what they use to help choose colors. So let's get started and take a look at how this process works. So imagine you are a designer and you are working on a line of home furnishings. Maybe you want to design a comforter and sheets and maybe even a throw pillow, and everything is going to be coordinated. All of the colors are going to be coordinated and work well together. And where do you start to decide what colors you are going to choose? Well, one of the ways that designers choose colors for different types of home furnishings is through what's called a color matching system called Pantone. So what is Pantone? So Pantone is a color matching system that is used universally across different types of products and media. So for instance, it's used to match colors digitally. We can think of website colors, but it's also used to match colors, say, on fabric for fashion or home decor, and even for industrial design, say, for small appliances. And it's a system that was created in the 1960s by the company that first started out just as a commercial printing company where they would print out packaging and different paper products for different customers. And they found a gap. They found that it was hard to match the colors each time, to be consistent each time they would print a certain color. So they created a specific formulation color matching system so that this could be used across different types of materials and products, and that the designer would know each time that those colors would come out in a consistent way. And Pantone is one of the ways that home decor designers look to for colors that they're going to use for their design. And it may depend upon the product itself or the manufacturer or the designer, and they may use a different type of system. But Pantone has become the go-to color matching system across a number of different types of products and materials, including things that we would buy for our home. And Pantone has a number of different guides depending upon what you are designing. So a home decor designer who is designing different fabrics for curtains or bedding or sheets or anything like that, they would probably have a book that would have different samples that are printed on fabrics. But that designer could also have a book from Pantone that has samples printed on paper, almost like paint samples. Or if you are an industrial designer and you're designing small home appliances for our kitchen, you may have their guide, their set of colors printed out for coatings. So, different types of coatings that are applied to those small appliances, and you would choose the colors for those small appliances based on that selection of colors in that guide. And everyone is allowed to use those colors, to specify those colors for their products. So when a designer has some nice designs for their bedding, for instance, and they want to choose colors that are going to be consistent across different types of materials. So they have a comforter, maybe it has a pattern on it, and they also have some sheets and maybe a throw pillow or something else that coordinates with that whole bedding design. And so they will go to the Pantone guides to choose colors for all of that bedding. And they know what those colors are going to look like when all that fabric is dyed. It's going to be specified and matching each time that those different materials are printed. And Pantone can also work with companies to create a custom color that only that company will be able to use. A good example of that is Tiffany and Company. And everyone is familiar with the Tiffany Blue. Well, that color was developed with Pantone, and Tiffany owns the exclusive rights to that Tiffany Blue formulation. So no one else can specify that color on their products. So it's just kind of an interesting side note. And the word Pantone actually has a neat etymology or origin of that word, because the word pan is Latin for all, and the word tone is another way to describe color. And we may be familiar with Pantone because every year Pantone announces the color of the year. And so this is something they started to do in 1999 to kind of engage the design community, and also just to kind of be the one to kind of set the tone and set the trends and forecasts for colors of the year. So you may be familiar seeing that every year where we find out what the color of the year is. And lots of times that's coming from Pantone. There are other companies or even organizations that also develop colors of the year, but Pantone is one of those main ones that we notice every year. And so when Pantone comes out with a new color of the year, maybe a designer for a certain retailer or a designer for a certain line of home decor products that they are developing, they want to bring in that color of the year because they want to be relevant, and they probably have a good sense that since it's the color of the year, it's probably going to sell pretty well. And so they can go to that color of the year, and everyone will know what that formulation is, so they can develop all sorts of products with that color of the year on it. So the next time that you're out and about and looking at home furnishings in person or online, keep in mind that maybe that designer who selected all those colors used Pantone to create a consistent look. So let me know if you have any questions and any thoughts on this topic. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.